Hello everyone. I'm back. It's 10:31 p.m. at night. So, I guess I'm updating y'all on you know, since the previous video. So, at the moment, it's saying that the other video that I'm uploading that I did earlier today that is has 65 more minutes left to upload, but then it's probably going to take a much longer time to process. So it looks like as if um, the video from earlier won't upload. It won't be done uploading until after midnight. So, but ever since I got up in this room yesterday evening, I thought it was my imagination, and I didn't know if anything was biting me up or itching or whatever. I thought it was my imagination, but now I'm wondering if I'm being attacked by fleas. But I think this is considered a pet friendly hotel. And I think I did see people last week with pets, like with dogs, but I don't know if they were in this room or not. But feels like as if, especially like, well, I learned in Los Angeles that fleas like to mainly attack your ankles, you know. So yeah, I think I'm being attacked by fleas. I think they got this room has fleas, but I don't know for sure. But I'm I'm guessing, but I don't know for sure. You know, so but every time I try to use a spray bottle for the like to add water and the lavender oil, it seems like the spray bottle gets stuck. And I mean, well the lavender oil gets stuck. Like I don't know if it solidifies with colder temperatures or something like that. But I do have an extra spray bottle that I can probably maybe try to put some drops of the lavender oil in there and add some water and shake it up and spray around the whole room. But it's like every time, like since being in here yesterday, when I try to wash my hands, that's when the that's when it feels like I'm being attacked even more around my ankles and legs. But like, am I imagining things or is this the real deal? So, but I was waiting on one of my deliveries, and waiting on one of my deliveries, and you know, there was a fly that the moment I stepped out of the room, the thing kept harassing me and even slapped me on the eye. I think it was a gnat that kept on militantly harassing me and wouldn't leave me alone. And then came in here and was like attacking the back of my neck. That same gnat, you know. And I think I got a small little bump on the back of my neck, you know. So, well, I feel broke already. And I know that I'm going to be like, I don't know about completely penniless, but from the looks of it, it looks like by Sunday's the actual third, right? By Sunday, it looks like as if I'm not gonna have any money left over. But I don't know. By Sunday the third, excuse me. So, but yeah, I was afraid. Well, had been raining and thundering. Like I don't know about lightning, but lightning usually comes with thunder. So I'm assuming must have been lightning too. So there was like a lot of bad weather, and this afternoon and this evening, and I didn't get to go swimming, like I wish I could have gone. And but um, so for dinner I had what they call chicken shawarma. It was buy one get one free, and the other one I'm saving for later, not later tonight, but either tomorrow or Friday. And so like I spent more like the morning, trying to figure out what I was gonna do today, and then spent the afternoon, online shopping for what backpack to get. You know, I'm hoping that I could get a phone that would be cheaper than excuse me. I'm hoping that I could get a phone that would be cheaper than $150. But I don't know how much they're gonna make me pay, or what if they're gonna be assholes and restrict me to only one phone, or if I could get a phone that's cheaper than $100. I don't know. I don't know what I could get tomorrow. You know, tomorrow or any other day if I go. Um, you know, so yeah, I spent you know a lot of the afternoon looking online for like back for a backpack. So I ordered that. You know, so I ordered some some of my hygiene supplies and the batteries, but I forgot to get a new toothbrush and some gloves and more alcohol wipes. But I got the soap, rubbing alcohol, and batteries. But um, I don't know if I might need more trash bags or not. So, excuse me. But well, as far as bladder pads, I use the bladder pads for you know, I use the bladder pads. I use them for menstrual pads as well. The regular menstrual pads, I have not used those really in years and do not use them anymore. I like the bladder pads better. They're bigger and, it seems like they absorb better. But then I have to stuff extra, sorry for TMI, but I have to stuff extra toilet paper down there for like more protection. But speaking of that, I know I'm 41, almost 42 years old, and I guess I need to research more on perimenopause and menopause. Like, I was 8.5 when my first menstrual period started, March 17th, 1992. I was 8.5 years old, and so I'm 41, almost 42, and I've been feeling like I'm sick and tired of having menstrual periods. you know. But then again, I'm scared. Well, I know I haven't been sexually active or having any sex or anything, but it's like my last menstrual period was the court date, June 25th. And now it's July 30th, almost July 31st. Excuse me, and I haven't had a period since. But I don't know if I would just be late or what's going on. But the stalkers were making false rumors, lying and saying Candy is pregnant. Pregnant by who? And I didn't sleep with anybody. You know, they making my nose itch. But yeah, one of the perps came in my comments on one of my live streams like a week ago or a few days ago and lied and said Candy is pregnant or something like that, you know. But I don't have a boyfriend. I'm single unto myself, you know. I don't even have a male companion, not even a platonic friendship, not even with females. I'm just like all to myself, you know. Um so like I'm scared and don't know if the menstrual period will just come um like at a random later time unexpected, or how does this go? I don't know. But I feel sad because I wish I could have had that opportunity to get to be a wife and a mother, and me living my life not getting to experience that and reproduce and you know experience childbirth and raise kids or none of that, you know. But if I did end up having any babies, I know that abusive narcs and perps would make up lies and have my kids wrongfully taken away by CPS, you know. And like when I was 19 years old and dealing with those rapes and stuff and the fake foster mom Adrian Felder, she made a threat to she's trying to say if you get pregnant, I'm gonna make arrangements to have your baby taken away before the baby is born. And I'm like, why would you do something like that? She's like, cause you can't take care of your goddamn self. Nah, be damn if you you know no, she said something like, you can't even take care of your goddamn self. So how you gonna raise a baby or something like that? You know, she was on a militant mission to destroy people and try to have their kids taken away and put in foster care, or you know I don't know what was her she had 3 kids of her own, so I don't understand what was her obsession of wanting people to have their kids taken away. And she always would throw in my face, you wouldn't like somebody to do this and that to you. How would you like if someone did XYZ to you? You know. So but I'm pretty sure that she wouldn't like anyone to, maliciously get her kids taken away. So but yeah, but yeah, but then, me being a teenager and hearing certain things about other teens or kids my age being promiscuous, And if they were sleeping around underage, people will falsely glorify them as smart and mature if they are underage and have all the unprotected sex that they wanted and didn't get pregnant, no STD or whatever, or if they just got quote unquote lucky, you know. But or they make it like it's a badge of honor, or they try to make you manipulate for you to feel like you wish that you could, you know, sleep around with no consequence or whatever. Like it's a badge of honor. But you know, years later, I read in the Bible. I don't remember where. Well, I don't remember if it was Rachel or Leah in the Bible that was barren. I think it was Rachel, or you know. So you know, I wouldn't have. I mean, I would not have wanted a curse to for myself to be barren. You know, but and then there was, you know, recently stalkers have I don't know if they get that information, false information from my twin sister. The stalkers were lying on me and making false rumors, lying and saying that I've had abortions before and stuff like that. That never happened. You know, but the fake foster mom Adrian Felder try to make like as if I was too childlike or not mature enough to, you know, be with men and have relations with men. She also wanted me socially isolated and very controlling with me being 19, 20 years old. She wouldn't let me have boyfriends or a husband or nothing. But she couldn't stop my twin sister though. You know, but she even plotted to have my twin sister's kids taken away or made those threats. See, they're making my nose itch. But she was trying to plot to have the foster sister Joni's kids taken away. And it's like whenever a woman got pregnant, excuse me, they're making my nose itch. Whenever a woman got pregnant, um, they hit me with weapons and making my nose itch. Whenever a woman got pregnant, the foster mom Adrian Felder would get really angry, and she had a self-righteous attitude, like, and she was quick to call everybody a whore, and run around and say, you know, what goes on in my house stays in my house, or she would say stuff like, oh, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I'm trying to make like once a whore, always a whore. And she would always call everybody whores and whatever. Or she would call gay men, she would call them, you know, sissies or whatever, you know. Like, say, if she wanted to insult a guy, she might be like, walking around here like a little sissy. Or something like that, you know. But like the foster mom used to tell my twin sister stuff like, and you wonder why they call you Butch and Dyke. Stuff like that, you know. And I heard phrases like bull dagger years ago. I'm like, wow, it's like, and or the foster mom, she was not calling a man like a sissy or whatever. Um, she would call them like punks and or like a Jenny woman. Like, wow, I haven't heard that phrase Jenny woman in a long time, you know. But she seemed masculine her damn self, you know. She used to wear like a mullet, and I thought was like a little ponytail at the back, but they said, no, that's not a ponytail, that's a ducktail or whatever, you know, in the back. But, you know, when you have like a flat top or low cut, like say if you had your hair like my hair, this length, but if you had like a piece of hair like at the bottom back of your hair, I mean like at the bottom back, like a little piece down there that's kind of long, and sometimes it could be long enough to be like bushy or you could braid it or whatever, that little small, you know, spot at the back. And and it's like for her to be self-righteous about people having babies out of wedlock, you know, I learned that for her to be married several times, you know, I heard that that was sinful too. I mean, learned years ago in the Bible that that's sinful too. If you like, oh, like I didn't know that, like if you divorce and remarry, that like if you divorce one person and then marry another person while they're still alive, while the man you divorced is still alive, and you go and marry another man, um, I heard that that's sinful too. And the fake foster mom, like she was lecturing us. I think when we came from getting graduation pictures from high school, and she narcissistically lectured us. And she said, I don't know, I don't even remember why she was lecturing us, but during her fake lecture, she was like, you know, um, you're supposed to be only married. You're supposed to only get married once. You want to know how many times I've been married? 4. So if you're supposed to only be married once, and she talking about her husband's cheating and beating on her, and try to talk about that they will run women on her. I'm like, what do you mean by run women on you? Oh, cheating on her. But I remember when I was a little kid and her and the foster dad Al never got along, and I don't know if Al was really cheating or not, but he would always be accused of cheating, and she would harass him about it, and they would fuss and argue all day. I never saw them hug or kiss or nothing. And then the fourth, that was the third husband, and I really think she had him blood sacrificed. And then the fourth husband, I think she was trying unsuccessfully to sacrifice him, but I think he was involved in the occult and witchcraft and Freemasonry and stuff too. And how the hell you blood sacrifice a man or have him killed off? If you hated the man so much, and then you marry a man with qualities so similar to that husband, and then you hate him too. And then the foster stepdad, the fourth husband, he was cheating for real. A serial cheater, you know, and stuff that she didn't used to do before he came, you know, she started to do. Like with the narcissistic lectures, she didn't used to lecture us until after he started with the lectures, and then force you to stand like, okay, we go to school in the morning, and then like if it's a Wednesday night, we go to the fake cult Bible class Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, and the session is over like 10 o'clock, and then excuse me, but then the fake foster mom will stick around until like damn near midnight, gossiping with other cult members or her so-called friends or whatever. And then it'd be damn near midnight when we get home. And then the foster stepdad lecturing us for like 3 or 4 hours until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then if we miss the bus, we get punished. If we supposed to be like up and out by 6:30, whatever the hell time it was. or if we falling asleep in school, or we get punished for that. And psych meds make you fall asleep. Oh, the foster mom, if you in the fake cult Bible class meeting or session, and you doze off and fall asleep and then get punched. Yeah. So I'm just, yeah, ranting off. But yeah, so the other video is almost done uploading. And so excuse me. My right shoulder is hurting. It's starting to hurt. But so I'm not sure why my menstrual period is delayed for now. I mean, but yeah, I don't know what to expect or if or when it will come again. But I read something about menopause or perimenopause or premenopause or something like that you know if you if you like stop like basically they say your periods will start to be irregular and then not as often. And I heard that there's a chance you still could get pregnant. And then I heard that, I guess I don't know if they were saying that for a year, excuse me, that your menstrual periods will probably be irregular for about a year or so. I don't know if my information that I read was right or wrong. And then they said that that you know you'll know you that menopause is there when after a year or two or so, that if you're not menstruating any, if you're having no more periods, that's when you officially got menopause. Excuse me. And I'm hearing stories about you know people trying to say that menopause is more painful and more stressful than, they say you will wish you were younger and had periods again. I'm like, wait a minute. So menopause ain't, or postmenopause ain't no better? Oh man, you know. Excuse me. But I remember it was like 2 or 3 years ago. The stalkers, they were pretending to be fake friendly with my twin sister, and they were trying to tell her she was having signs of perimenopause or whatever, or premenopause. But like my menstrual periods have been regular and consistent until last month. And excuse me, so they've been consistent and regular since last month. But yeah, like the one of the stalkers, try to Starbreaker, try to talk about, and Candy is aging, like as if it's a bad thing, or like as if I'm intentionally doing something wrong. For her to say Candy is aging, and she said it like she was ranting about me, like as if I was doing something wrong. Like, well, if I'm aging, what doesn't everybody age if they get older, if they don't die young? But so you want to criminalize me aging while everybody else tell me you don't look a day over 20 years old or you still look like a child. So, with my toenails being super so thick that I can't cut them, they criminalize me for that and lecture me about that. And you know, and I thought it would have been direct energy weapons, but they'll say, "Oh, Candy's too stupid to realize that that's part of her getting older." Excuse me, but I've been experiencing thick toenails since 2017, and I probably was how old was I? I think I was 34, 35 years old, and the year before that, um, I thought I was having hot flashes, and come to find out they're like, no, you're too young for that. And come to find out it was the quick flashes of overheat that I was experiencing. I didn't realize it was directed energy weapons attacks. You know, excuse me. Yeah. So, but they have more than one person in the so-called TI community that have told me that the gang stalking cult members that they know how to use directed energy weapons to manipulate and control your periods too. I don't know how true that is or if it's true, but you know, but I noticed I had I was a teenager and had a strand of gray hair right here. I mean, right here or somewhere right there. But once I pulled it out, the gray hair never came back. But ever since I had a weird dream, I was 32 years old and had a weird dream about having gray hair. And then I woke up one day and it had somewhere up in this area, excuse me, I was still living in Los Angeles, and I noticed one or two gray strands of hair, but I still have one or two strands of gray hair, but I thought I noticed maybe three or four lately. But wow, if me and my twin sister were on good terms and getting along, or if she wasn't a gang stalker or a narcissistic abuser, it's like we probably could compare, you know, our menopausal or whatever experiences or something, you know. But my twin sister, I mean, the foster mom shamed me for having a first menstrual period. But she applauded and celebrated my twin sister when we were 9 years old when she got hers. But when I got mine and we were 8 years old, she wanted to narcissistically punish me. And then she would punish me or make me suffer when I suffered unbearable, torturous, excruciating, severe menstrual cramps 8 years old in third grade. As if it was my fault and I did something wrong. You know, but yeah, but Wyatt was 44 or 45 years old. No, 44 going on 45, but I don't recall seeing any pictures or videos of him having any gray hair. but I think Mark got some gray hair. But Ramona was like in her mid 50s and damn near not a strand of gray hair, maybe a few strands. But Dirty Derek or Derek was like freaking how old is he? 39 years old. Well, last year he was 37 going on 38. And we had just turned 40. And I was shocked to see Derek being overweight and having all that gray hair. And then, like, before Wyatt passed away, like, I saw a video or some pictures of Wyatt being, like, a little bit chunky. But Sean had been obese for years, But Mark illegally getting to be the freaking skinniest one in the family. But to me, Pete is not really skinny, but he ain't really fat either. But Sean would always lecture us throughout the years about the women in the family being so obese and fat or whatever. Excuse me, but you know, but like the biological mom Frances and the two older sisters Belinda and Ramona and me and my twin sister, it seemed like all of us females, dealing with obesity. But then my niece, Hellface Ugly Monica, you know, and her kids and Whore Rebecca and all them, drunk lady Yvonne. Well, Yvonne is not really skinny, but she ain't obese. But you know how Rebecca and Monica get to be like so freaking skinny or whatever. Excuse me. And my other biological niece, Asha, Pete's daughter, um, I don't think she ever really been obese, you know. But yeah. But I think the reason why we had to be obese because those freaking psych medications, not genetics. Like all of us had, like the me and my twin sister, older sisters, and the biological mom Frances, yeah, dealing with psych meds. Sean too, dealing with psych meds. You know, and they would call Sean fat and greedy. The family, just like they call me fat and greedy just to be mean, you know, and be manipulative and controlling with food and money and everything. So, yeah, I did say what I had for dinner, or did I not? Oh, okay. I had buy one get one free chicken shawarma. I didn't get the fries, but I got a mango shake, and I cheated. I had some ice cream bars. You know, I'm feeling depressed. You know, and feeling anxiety about this coming month. You know, me eating ice cream bars. To help myself feel better, make myself feel better, and I get shunned for that. You know, I mean, the stalkers had gotten to a point that they're that damn obsessed, with where they try to count how many calories they think I'm eating. You know, or they try to calculate how much money they think I'm getting or earning or whatever, or they gotten to a point with their obsession and desperation that they try to count how many calories they think I might be eating, or they just throw in random figures and guess things. It's for them to think they have a figure on how many calories I ate with mac and cheese. Okay, you don't know how much cheese I had on the freaking mac and cheese. You know, it wasn't that much cheese. It didn't seem like it wasn't really cheesy. I didn't specify how many ribs I had, or how many, or how many ounces of sweet potato that I might have had. You know, excuse me, it's like they're more obsessed with me than I am about myself. You know, so for them to think they can figure how many calories I had in the mango smoothie, you know, you don't know what size, you don't know what size it was. So if I said that I had, XYZ brand of ice cream bar, they would actually go Google search the nutrition facts and then go gossip about it. Where is their job? How come they don't go and get a job, a real job, get a real job? If they want to say me doing YouTube or working on my writing is not a real job or it's not work, well, how come you stalking and harassing people incessantly without a break and taking drugs to stay awake like you say you do? You know, how come y'all call that a real job? Stalking, harassing, and trafficking people and ruining lives. They call that work. Excuse me, but it's spiritual work for Satan. That you get rich off of destroying the poor. You know. So, I mean, well, thankfully I didn't experience chest pains today. So, excuse me, I don't even know if I go tomorrow and try to go see about getting the new phone. If I get the new phone, um, if I go and get the new phone, if I go out and walk and take the bus and stuff, you know, if my chest would hurt or not, or if I can walk like normal. Excuse me. But I guess it would be better if I could do it tomorrow and not have to worry about carrying heavy bags. But if I do it Friday, then I have to have my heavy bags with me. But yeah, it seems like by the weekend, after me getting everything I need, I'm gonna probably end up being like back broke again, you know. But I didn't get to work on. I'm trying to not emotionally beat myself up about it. I didn't get to work on my writings at all today. But I did listen to 7 chapters of the book of Second Chronicles in the Bible. Excuse me, but tonight when I was, trying to watch a few YouTube videos, I don't know why the videos. I don't know if it's my phone that's the problem. Like earlier, I was able to play videos fine, but tonight it's like the videos have been like jumping and skipping, and I'm hoping that this video will play back like normal. I hope it won't skip or mess up or nothing like excuse me, but yeah. So, but it depends on how much. I don't know how much sleep I'm going to get tonight, and it depends on how much sleep I will get tonight. Um excuse me, depends on how much sleep I get tonight or how I'm feeling tomorrow would determine, whether or not I could get up and try to go and get a new phone. But I feel like I would need to rest another day, stay here and just rest another day and maybe get some sleep or something. But yeah. Um Thankfully, well, it's 11 plus the bad number. Oh, it was right after 11:15 right now. Um at the moment. And I just looked at my phone. I didn't know until I just looked at it. Oh, excuse me. And and so, you know, I don't know if I can go to sleep and sleep good and wake up tomorrow and feel refreshed and, and go and do what I need to do, or if I should just stay here and rest another day, you know. Excuse me, but I always the type of person that, once I get paid whatever, that I try to get all my bills and expenses out of the way first, you know. So I have it in plan and I would like to, you know, get to go and get go and get my get a new phone. My stomach is mildly starting to feel like it might be cramping, menstrually cramping right now. I don't know if so or if that's just my imagination. Excuse me, but yeah, so yeah, I try to reset, you know, the Wi-Fi and the I don't know if after the other video is done uploading, then if the video playback on YouTube will be back to normal. I don't know if it's my phone that's the problem or if what's the problem, But I'm gonna get off here and I definitely need some sleep. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of reflux. But yeah, I've been so depressed and frustrated about what I'm going through and trying to not go crazy, trying to not lose my mind, you know. But I love y'all. I'm going to get off here and I'll see y'all tomorrow.